Awesome. Well, I'd like to welcome everybody to stage. Don't forget to post your IDs in the live ID chat. If you have anything you'd like to write or have us talk about in future stages, head on over to the Stage Topics channel. Jot down your ideas, and we'll get to them. We got a new trial with us today, Nim. So everyone, give her a warm welcome. And then we've got Draco as host and Soul as co-host. So I'll let them go ahead and take it.
Thanks, Guppy. Appreciate it. Nim, if you'd like to say hello to everyone, don't be shy.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Perfect, thanks. And to start off, we just recently got, a nice little mail by the fairies with a big update coming to all of us. And for those who haven't seen it, let me get the screenshot. Oh boy. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties from Draco's Discord at the moment.
I got it. I'll post it.
Thanks. So, for some reason, Discord does not want to load for me properly.
It's been having some issues lately.
It's definitely has, unfortunately. There we go.
So, June 17th, we got a update coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure do.
60 minutes. That's pretty short.
That's a long one. Normally,
that is a long one.
60 minutes. We're going to have no ants for all you addicts out there like myself. Although, 7 UTC, I'm typically comfortably in bed at that point, so I wake up to the nice little updates.
It's perfect for people who are in season like me with the same protection time from 0 to 8 UTC. So thankfully, this isn't going to interfere with us, but for those who have 8 UTC to 16 UTC, this is going to affect you guys, unfortunately. But to get straight to the point here about the updates, there's a lot of, in my opinion, some interesting and big things coming to Ants, and the first one is a new awakening. Ooh. Which is for Golden Venom called Savage Jaws, which will be in the Underground Maze store. Finally, Maze Store is getting a new little awakening. So what do you think, Soul, is going to be the features for this new awakening for Golden Venom?
I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see. I want, and also Golden Venom being one of the first, so to say, pay ants. I'm curious as to whether or not this awakening is going to be available at like a normal free-to-play awakening, because now Golden Venom can be obtained through fragments and stuff like that. So you don't necessarily have to pay for Golden Venom anymore. So this is something a lot of people in the community have been asking for, where more free ants have awakenings that can be grabbed in Maze Store. So,
yeah,
but he's got a good point. The game is kind of going towards dodge with para, and remember, Golden Venom at one point was a universal, I think, and now it's a carrier ant in one of the previous updates that was released. So dodge would definitely be something that is a good possibility. So this is definitely something positive and something that the community's been asking for. So
Yeah, yeah. So what? Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but Demarise. See, I tried looking in the game, Sol, and all I could find is that you actually still have to pay for the fragments here. It's on the one-time offer where you can switch for fragments from Golden Venom, Dark Hercules, and Banshee Panda.
the fragments are also. Hold on 1 second here.
Yeah, please tell me there is a free way because I wouldn't mind a new insect.
I mean,
Or
there
ant.
has. I'll tell you why there has to. I have 112 fragments, and I've never attempted to go after any fragments for this ant ever. So I don't know how, but I don't think you have to pay for them. I think they're given in certain events, or maybe like I don't know. You can if you can give me a reason why I have 112 of them, and I've never attempted to go after that ant. I'm not a carrier main. It's not something I've ever tried for, and so
Yeah, and not to bash on Golden Venom, it's not really a good ant from what I've known, but who knows with this awakening, it might be, the next Jack Jumper and Golden Armor, where players didn't really care for it too much. And then when the awakening came out, boom, players started like mass developing their ants because of these awakenings. So, who knows? Maybe Golden Venom might be a big one, but that is kind of curious. You have 112 fragments. It's a carrier ant. It's no offense to anyone who has it, but
I mean,
it's
maybe
not
I
the
did
best.
chase after it. Maybe I did chase after it when it was not a carrier ant, because that was updated, and it's been such a long time. So who knows?
Oh,
I could be
else is-
wrong. I'll admit that. I mean, I thought there was a path to getting Golden Venom without investment.
I want to
Yeah.
know why I have one bullet ant fragment. One.
Now that you can definitely earn through like colony actions and stuff like that, right? Or
I think it just driver ant. I think.
is Driver
I have
Ant the only
9
one?
golden. Driver?
No, it's Driver, JJ. I've seen Golden Armor there a couple of times.
Rock Bandit.
Yep, Rock Band is one of them, that's for sure. I think Golden Sugar too? I'm not too sure. I haven't had my coffee in me yet, so I apologize. But, it's going to be interesting. And, like Wolfie said, I honestly thought the next awakening for an ant was going to be, everyone's favorite Golden Spinny or Spiny. That ant hasn't been loved at all. Let me not kill off the 167 golden spinies I've ever hatched and, actually start using it for something. But, maybe Golden Venom might be a good awakening for, I'm guessing PvP, because we already got a decent amount of PvE awakenings added to the store. Like everyone knows, Golden Armor's awakening is tremendous in my opinion, because for PvE you got the Pango and also Groundhog buff from that awakening. So I'm kind of excited to see what the awakening for Golden Venom will be.
Make Acid General great again. I like, come on, man. let's see an awakening on that bad boy. They made Golden Venom relevant. Why can't they make Acid General do something?
Well, it's also in the Meteorite, so it's somewhat good, but I like to see it being useful for players, especially for free to play players. Acid General is easily one of the top most obtained ants from hatching. So, it has also got a nice little cool added look from the meteorite evolution. So, like to see in some troops. But to move on to the next update point is added the coordinate distance display to favored coordinates. So I'm presuming this means once you go to your favored coordinates to see what has been marked down, will show you the distance from where you are. Am I correct with that?
Yes, that. Well, that was one that was a little confusing. I don't see relevance in it, although maybe March times. You know,
Yeah.
seeing how far your favorite in position is. I don't know.
That'd be kind of cool.
That one seems. Well, again, we'll wait till that happens to like discuss that a little bit more. But we're gonna get another red dot. It looks right. Added the new message reminder rule in the mail list.
Oh yeah, that's what we need.
That one.
I can already hear the people with OCD just shaking their head now, saying, "Oh my gosh, we have another red dot to get rid of." Oh,
Mm-hmm. I do like this added season fruit acquisition record. That basically, I see it as like it telling you how much fruit you got, because aside from like calculating how much you've spent, currently it only displays the amount of fruit you have to spend. So
Mhm.
I can see that being useful.
yeah, because it will also help us have an idea of, okay, this is how much fruit we were able to obtain this season. Next season, can we get the same or even a little bit more? Like, what can players do to obtain more fruit to be able to get more items? Because, like everyone knows, that season store, oh, it's a blessing and a half. I gotta say.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of goodies that can be had to help your accounts there. For those of you in the audience that may not know this, but we try to remind our alliance about this. If you're going to log off your account for a long time, doesn't matter if you're culty class or raider class or whatever, always good to leave your troops in the alliance resource nodes to be gathering while you're offline, because season fruit is obtained through gathering. I think the rule of thumb is if you are raider class, it is best to gather on sand. And if you are in culty class, meat or leaf is better, depending on how you have your features set. But there even lower culty levels have increased leaf and meat gathering per hour. So I think that's what makes it better to gather on those, because all that gathering will also help you gain the fruit that you can then spend. So try to make it a habit if you're logging off to throw your troops to gather. It doesn't cost stamina anymore, so it's not like you're wasting stamina that could be used in battle or anything like that. Just while you're off, hop back to the bunkhouse and then gather away.
Yep. I just posted actually, since you started talking about it, I always do that because I think maybe it was you, so who first told me about that. So I started doing it to actually gain fruit. Never actually noticed it, because it would be nice if the game did tell you how much you obtained, but I actually had my gatherers out for a little bit, was fighting for some time, and seems like my note is being taken right now from the screenshot, but I had at first 18,647 fruit. Recalled my troops, and I also actually posted a small picture of the very little resources I actually got, and it seems like I got 50 fruit from that very little bit. So, it's actually a great way because honestly, especially for free to play players who don't buy packs to obtain more fruit, this is an extra bonus to gain some more fruit to be able to buy these items. Like, I've already bought a few things from that screenshot, so it doesn't show everything, but it's amazing, especially the bio essence. And no one judge me. I haven't bought a single bio essence the past 2 weeks because I'm actually getting close to T10. So I've been, spending all my fruit on creature remains. So, every
How
little
close?
bit definitely helps.
How close are you?
Oh, Otto, man. Oh my gosh.
Are you at 99% yet?
I'm, what is it? I'm about, during Evo Day, I'm going to finish off the Evo going on. So I'll be 19 out of 20. I have enough creature remains to get that 20 out of 20.
And
But
then you
I
need 55K, I think, for the last, don't you?
58K. I think I
58K.
saw.
Ah.
Yeah. So here, one of my friends was actually kind enough to.
Yeah, 58,140.
Yeah. So I have, I think, about 49K right now. I think the last Evo for before the T10 Evo is 38, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna take me a little while, unfortunately.
33,410.
Ugh. So probably in 2 weeks.
Yep. You're good. You're good in 2 weeks, dude. That's awesome.
Oof. But I heard you're getting close to your T10s too.
I am 2 weeks out too, so I don't know who's gonna boast first, but I should have had mine in May, but I slacked off. Pneumonia in January had me a little had me slowed down a little. Those 2 weeks I was behind, so I should have been the end of May by the calculator, but it stretched out to now end of June, so I lost a whole month.
Oh man. Hey, at least we will get T10 soon, right? But
Yep.
T10s always isn't the solution though, because I'm pretty sure you're the same case. Is that when I'm fighting players with the T10 frame, and even when they have T10s, I'm actually beating some of them. So,
Well, that's
just
because
to
they're Evos. It's not all about Evos. It's about germs, genes, and cells, right? So
Mhm.
if you can get those T10s and give your marches a little bit more of a boost, then it's well worth it. It's just that's the issue, Nim, is wait until we have to do hatching. So, and you know what's crazy is the hatching costs are through the roof. The speed ups are through the roof, but the bonus for state versus state day is it's negligible. It's so much. You might as well just hatch T9s.
I had T9s.
Yeah, of course you
never
do. Because
Mhm.
so what do you? So here's a question. Then I put my hand up. I came up on stage. I'm asking a question. What's a healthy amount of enhanced T10s to have in your hill?
Oh,
You think a million
man.
is
this is a very tough question.
It is, isn't it?
Well, I'll tell you why it's a tough question. So, we just had an AE, probably the best one that we've had in a very long time. I do want to thank VAC if there's any people listening in from that alliance. They actually came to fight and spent a lot of time porting our hills, and it came down to like 60 some thousand points to determine winner versus loser. It was about 70 showing up on each side. So it was a very, very fun AE. But that brings me to the next point. So I would not mind having another like 3 million T10s enhanced on my account for an AE style event because you're limited on how many can heal, right? So
Right.
having a lot of T10s on your account will help you with AE. Now, how important is that when you are jumping from event to event? You will participate in 2 AEs every 2 to 3 months. I don't know, or 3 AEs maybe. You like while you're waiting on server for the next event. I think you participate in 3 AEs total, right? So you're talking having a bunch of T10s for something that you only participate in 3 times in 3 months. I don't know how important that is, but especially with the added cost. If you have a lot of ants on your hill, it's costing you a lot more resources, right? So I guess every player is different. If you fight a lot and you enjoy the fighting on AEs, I would recommend having more T10s on the account. But it is such in the grand scheme of things, it is kind of a small reward for having a lot of time, materials, diamonds you'd have to invest because speed hatching T10s is no easy task, and then mutating them up. So there's a lot of factors that go into play.
So
on
that's
how
my
many-
next question. That's a follow-up question then for mutating the ant. So the troop camp does 2 functions, and most people get confused by this because I've been confused in the past. Is the difference between mutation and enhancement? Do you feel that it's easier or better to mutate your ants from T9s unenhanced to T10s, or hatch them, or do you do a combination of both?
I never do that. So what I do is, because especially when you first get T10, right? You're limited on how you can get them. You either hatch normal T10s and then enhance them up, but you usually can do that only in batches of like 12,000. So I found it better to hatch your normal T10 and at the same time mutate up your enhanced T9s into enhanced T10s. So you're building up having both types on the account, because there are features that using unenhanced T10s are better. Like if you're farming speed heals and doing stuff like that, you do want to have a certain amount of non-enhanced T10s on the account, along with having enhanced ones for your main fighting and whatnot. So
26 days.
yes. So if you mutate T9s, T10s, you can do, I think, 30,000 or just a little bit above 30,000. Again, this may depend on account to account, because I think certain worker ants assist in giving you like higher, but it's roughly 30,000 ants that you can at one time mutate up, versus when you're hatching 12,000 or so at a time. So, but again, it takes a lot of speed ups, and if you don't have the speed ups, it's going to wind up taking diamonds to rush those. But yeah, that's how I handled it. I don't, again, everyone's different, so.
Yep, and
But
also
building it up at first, that's what I would do.
Yeah, so because the talks of how long it's going to take for those who do have T10s and haven't maxed the certain ants and insects out, or you're like me about to get it, or if you're working away and want to be able to attain more, today's a perfect day. You have SVS for insects, so your developer hermit crab should be worked on. For me, it's 6 stars. I was slacking. I'm sorry. I'm actually going to get it to 8 stars today, but this will actually reduce the hatch speed and hatch cap for your soldier ants being hatched. So that will definitely help. And like what Steph said, and I actually got screenshots. For me, I am shooter main. So this is one, what is it called? Bright blue ant. That's definitely going to help. And especially where is it? There it is. The gold developer insect, or sorry, I should say ant, acid ant, has, shooter ant hatch speed twice in there. So, ants like those and that hermit crab will definitely benefit you in the long run.
Now that
So-
Now
ant is
here's-
only shooter specific, right? So there's different ants for different classes.
Yeah. So let me
Now-
grab those two.
Now, here's another thing that people tend to get confused on when it comes to what's the difference with mutating and enhancing and hatching, whatnot. So, if you hatch a T10 and then enhance it, the cost to you in resources and speed ups and everything like that is the same as if you take a enhanced T9 and mutate it to an enhanced T10. Okay, so like it's not like you're spending the difference in resources. Now, once you gain T10, this is another reason why I think mutating up enhanced T9s to T10s is beneficial. Is you already have like a ton of these enhanced T9s on your account because you've been fighting with that type to begin with. So mutating them up into what you will now be using as T10s, I feel is beneficial. I mean, I don't know what your plan is, Draco, but
Mm-hmm.
that I assume is how you'll do it. That's
I'll
how
tell you what
most-
my plan is.
Ironic
I'm-
was enough to post this chart to kind of break down what I'm saying a little bit.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
spray and pray there, guys. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's your plan?
I'm gonna spray and pray. I'm gonna click that button blindly and just hope for the best.
Yeah, Wolfie. I mean, here's the thing. Wolfie is very correct. Get pro full and slow down.
Yeah.
I would definitely agree with that, but I would give yourself a little extra, not just full.
Yes.
Because I like to refresh quickly to send out again if I'm in a battle. So you kind of want enough to where you can fill your pro and maybe have a
An
couple
extra
hundred,
march.
maybe 100,000 or more backup that you can just hit refresh and it'll fill it back up.
I find it's
Mhm.
like 125K is like the magic number. You know what I mean?
have
If you
extra.
to have extra. That's where you don't have to heal anything and still fill your march up if you got decent. Like at least that's the number for me is. I always lose about 125K was on average with attacks. So if I could just hit the refresh button and send back out, that, and I can heal while my march is marching, and then I can just keep cycling that through 125,000, 125,000, 125,000. I always have a full march going in. So that's kind of
Yep.
how I do it.
Yeah, and plus
So
too,
I-
if you're sorry, go ahead, Saul.
So ironic and guppy, just to let you guys know, yesterday I was discussing how sad I was. So we farm speed heals on our server, like many of you do. And last night, I fell asleep while having 4 units in squirters,
Uh-oh.
allowing my team to attack it. So,
Continuously.
yes. So when I woke up, 3 of the 4 units had got sent back to my hill.
Were you overflowing?
And my pools overflowed.
Oh,
Just to give you guys an idea
Oh,
of
T10s bye-bye.
how bad it was,
Oh,
okay,
bro.
I
I've
just
done it.
posted it here in live chat.
oh.
So that was a little bit of a
Oh.
bummer right there.
Oh.
So
Oh.
after discussing it with some of my alliance mates, they're like, "Yeah, never have more than 2 troops and squirters if you're gonna fall asleep while they're hitting the squirters."
Oh, man.
That hurts
So-
to sing.
Oh yeah, and I actually, in my I'm very lucky though. I will say this because I did change my enhanced troops out for unenhanced because
I was going to
wanted
say, yeah.
to gain more heals when they returned to the hill, and I healed them.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah,
That's
so,
if
well,
you
it
don't-
would have been like honestly, it would have been at close to 600K if the troop that was like my last remaining troop in the squirter got sent back. The pools would have overflowed to around 600.
Oh,
So-
my God. And that's
Yeah, I
like
got
8
lucky
months
that-
of free-to-play not using speed-ups.
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh,
man.
my
it was
goodness.
it was not fun. Waking up to that, but
Now I
I
know why
did.
your wife brought you coffee. You're mourning,
yeah.
you're mourning the loss
No,
of your T10s.
I will still highly recommend making sure you guys take advantage of speed heals. That just in one day of farming those speed heals, I've gained enough speed ups to go through an entire season of extreme fighting. I mean, our alliance does fight a lot, so
Mhm.
not having to use diamonds or anything like that to assist in healing is definitely something worth it. So
Yeah. And, just want to go back quickly to the update. We actually haven't even talked about a few important things. One of them is what Otto has discussed before, and that's the meteorite evolution. Remember how you're saying you would have to switch around the ants and then had a cooldown time to wait to be able to do it again?
7 days.
Yep. Well, that's being taken away.
Oh,
Yeah. Cancel the special ant removal cooldown of the Trailblazer. The ruler can remove
Oh.
the special ants anytime. So, that's a nice little feature.
so
But,
we can rearrange them as we see fit. Nice.
exactly. You
I
don't have
do.
to wait those 7 days.
I
I do
honestly
like-
I'm leaving it. I'm not
Yeah.
moving it.
I do.
What do you like, Soul?
Yeah, I do like that you don't have to wait for the cooldown anymore. That'll be nice.
Yeah, a nice little feature, but well, I actually like to talk about too is the other optimization that they announced, which is going to
Okay.
affect vast jungles.
Okay, hold on before we cover this, because this is definitely a topic of contention that has plagued Vast Jungle for quite a bit. So, actually, since its inception, right? We have in the first batch that went out, Red Camp enjoyed this, so to say, ability to build faster and destroy faster. As players complained about it, the devs, in their infinite wisdom, decided to set it as a milestone. You have that picture, right? Like at a certain milestone, it now goes towards blue camp. It seems to have had an overcompensation effect, where we are seeing or hearing from now. The batch results are not completely, but by batch 5 now, you guys are in batch 6 on your event right now, right? You guys are currently on Batch Jungle?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, you're in batch 6. So in batch 5, they changed it to where at this Path of Conquest milestone, Golden Acorn Camp loses this ability, which is Red Camp, and goes towards the Snowy Cedar Camp. I think for the remainder of the event, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You guys know more than me. So like once you hit this milestone, now Blue Camp enjoys the ability to build and destroy towers quicker. So what I'm hearing from players out there and reading up in official Discord channels is that Blue Camps are overwhelmingly winning these events. So yeah, the
Yay,
environmental
Blue Camp.
Yeah, sorry. I just had to post a little screen recording of the current season for Vic. And, Soul's right. Like, the first release of Vast Jungle, Red Camp just completely dominated the season. Now it's, the complete opposite. Seems like Blue Camp has been dominating a lot. And I don't know, there's definitely going to be players out there who say, it's not right matchups. It's still 3v2 and not, I think it's 8v3 it's supposed to be. But, with this update, it's going to balance out. So I'm actually pretty excited to see what the new seasons are going to be like. And who knows, maybe Cole might be going to, Vast Jungle and trying it out.
Well, I mean, we're definitely going to be there. So we'll see what this update does for us. But I was all geeked that hopefully we get Blue Camp again like we did the first one, because after getting dominated by Red Camp in that first beta, I was looking forward to testing out how this tower advantage would work. But now at this point, I'm not so sure with this update coming.
Well, honestly,
not-
Vast Jungle was nice, though. Like, I gotta admit, I didn't expect it to be like this, even though me and Otto and Nim here are, at the moment, pretty bored. But
I'm
sorry.
going to be honest with you. I'm not even seeing a difference. I don't see a difference.
Come
What do you
on.
mean?
I mean, honestly, it's just another event, man. It's just another event of, like, can we do something different instead of taking structures, building towers, burning towers, going for a tree? Can it be something new and refresh? Like, I get it, changing the rules of engagement and all that stuff. It's the same map. To me, it's like going into Baskin Robbins and what's your 31 flavors of ice cream? It's all ice cream. I mean, I'm not saying I'm dissatisfied with the ice cream. I'm just saying maybe throw something else on the menu. You know what I mean? Like, can we get a different type of event rather than the same event in a different flavor?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I'll be brutally. I do like certain features of certain events, but you are right. They are like, it's kind of more of the same. Like, I like Lost Island because it doesn't have a protection time, but I don't like
exactly.
But I don't like Lost Island because
it doesn't have a protection time.
It's not not about the protection time. It's about the um, diplomacy rules type of thing. So like when Lost Island first came out, we had like an arch rival alliance in our group that we would always match with, right? And
Okay.
the determining factor of who won or who lost was which one of us diplomatically got the other alliance to side with us against the other. So,
Yeah.
like, one event we would get other allies or alliances to side with us, and we would destroy them. And the next event, they would get allies to, it became these 5 versus 2s and 5 versus 3s or whatever, right? So, like, I don't like Lost Island because of that. Like you can game the system, so to say, with like other alliances. So Barren Land, to
Mhm.
me, I favor. Okay, it's a no nonsense. Hey, these two teams are your allies. Your opponents have 3 teams. Everyone knows what to do, right? Go after your environmental zones. Go after the mid clash above the tree. Go after the tree.
Mhm.
Cut and dry, plain and simple. Whoever can coordinate with their allies best typically wins these events, and there's no nonsense. Now, this vast jungle, maybe because it's a beta or whatever, it's just seems to be you know, we're still being guinea pigs on it yet. So
Yep.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
and I also don't like how they implemented the protection time on Vast Jungle versus Lost Island. That's going to continue to be a problem, I think, in these type of events. Like personally, I just don't understand why they can't have it where alliances set their protection time, and they're the only ones that match against each other in those events.
Mhm.
So that way you have everyone has 8 hours of protection and 16 hours of fighting. Those like we've been fortunate because that tends to happen on our events. We tend to match with teams that select a certain protection time. So like every event I've been to, we've chosen the same protection time. So I've always seen 16 hours of fighting, 8 hours of protection. So for me personally, that's great. I think it becomes difficult when like you have an ally, like, and we've been in that situation where like we've matched with a European ally, for example, that the protection time doesn't work very well for them. So like it becomes a problem, and that's the issue with protection time. But um, I do think it's better when there's only a shared 8 hour protection. When it's implemented the way VJ is, where you can't do anything for 16 hours if the two camps pick different protection times,
Mhm.
that's that becomes quite frustrating because it limits players that may not be active, during the 8 hour. Like if it was, if our protection times were, for example, 0 to 8, and let's say 8 to 16, I mean, like it would ruin my entire event, right? Like that's like the most active times or whatever, and like we would only be able to build and attack and fight and whatever when I would normally be sleeping or something. That would just be, so I understand the frustration.
You're saying this now, everybody's gonna choose that protection time when they're on a bet with you now.
Hey, it doesn't, I mean, whatever. My team is like very well rounded internationally, so we can handle any protection time. But Lost Island would actually be the best event for us to go to time and time again because we have enough activity during all times to be effective. But like I said, most of us don't like it because it's a diplomacy thing versus like actually fighting and evenly. Like people will gang up on other alliances. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not to change topics too quickly, but we've been 44 minutes into stage, and we actually haven't talked about the event collaboration everyone's been, happy playing. So
Yes.
I'm actually just going to post a few quick pictures here. There's
They
Sorry.
introduced that new ornament. I don't know if is that one of your picks?
Yep, that one is. There we go.
Frog
So
statue.
honestly, someone in my alliance mentioned it. I can't remember who, but it's nice getting a new ornament. But looking at this, I kind of wish it was an anthill skin.
Yeah, some of these ornaments are pretty cool, and they would make awesome skins.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who doesn't want a cool looking frog with little bubbles coming out? Like, come on, that's pretty cool. Slug. But for those who have been playing for a while and who have played the Godzilla collab, the collab currently is basically the exact same. Like, you have Kumiko over here fighting against the frog, the mantis, and the little snaky snake over here. And you get, you help her fight off these three enemies. And to do that, you actually need to complete daily tasks. And there you go. Use diamonds, speed ups, hatch soldier ants, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but the last couple is usually geared towards SVS, I think? Or is it just special ants hatched? Soldier ants. Hmm. Dang, look at Soul already at level 22.
What,
What?
bro?
What?
You obviously finished that before you fell asleep last night. Like that. Put
Oh,
the phone
What?
down, Soul. No,
24.
seriously.
That's
I'm at level 12, man. How are you at level 22? Oh, you can buy.
let's not. No.
Yeah,
I'm not at
but
22. I'm actually at 23, but we don't have to go there.
Yeah, we don't have to go there. Yeah.
oh look, Wolfie's at 24 and she's almost at 25.
What?
There is no 25.
Oh yeah, I just realized she has
She's
40,530.
at 24. She's at 24.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow. Wow, she beat you. And she's free to play.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No,
But-
seriously. She's free to play.
He's not
Well,
free
one-
to play.
Wolfie
Not
is
fully.
100% free to play.
That's why I thought Otto, but she corrected me today because if you look,
Cannot be at 20. You cannot be at 4.
I was going to
if
say,
you're
because
free to
I'm at
play.
level 12 and I haven't spent $1 on it. How did you get to level 24?
Yeah, it's impossible. To be honest with you, in order to hit 24, you have to purchase all 3. I didn't think it was going to be possible, or I thought it might be possible if you grab the Monster War packs, but if you didn't grab them, but no, it is you literally have to get the 3 monster packs in order to get enough of the material to get you up there. So you basically need that 1,800 of material to get up to that point. The reason why someone could be at 24 versus or I'm sorry, 24 versus 23 right now is because they just happen to get more critical hits on for Komoku. So
Mhm.
that's why
So-
some can be at or above 24, and some will still be at 23.
Well, hold on a second then. If I'm looking at the rewards, and if you buy all 3 levels, I should have noticed she bought all 3 levels anyways. That's hint number 1 that you're not free to play. But is it 5,000 collaboration points at level 23?
It is that.
Wow! So you can pick up the other 2 items in the collaboration event, because the other 2 items are totaling 5K. So you can get the ornament and you can get the frame.
You can get a lot.
You can get a lot more, but what I'm saying is getting to level 24 gives you those 2 items guaranteed. Interesting.
So with the points I've been gathered so far,
See, for
I've got.
me, I haven't bought. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, so.
So for the
Oh.
items with the points I've gotten, I've been able to get the 3 main prizes. So the hill skin, the ornament, and the frame. And I've also been able to grab the exotic shells so far.
Nice.
Yeah. And just to quickly add in, because Etsy over here just asked a quick little question. Unfortunately, those advanced and luxury, you can only buy those. So if you're free to play, you're not gonna be able to get those extra rewards, unfortunately. And I also posted a picture of my points currently. So I got the anthill skin, and I'm currently sitting at 1,750 points left. And, I'm going to try to ride this out, but we still have, I believe, one more day of this specific Monster War event. So, and what level am I? Sorry, I'm just checking quickly, and I'm at level 16, and I have to hit level 19 to get more points, and it's 1,000 points right there. So, I'm hoping that free-to-play players might actually be able to get enough points, hit that level to get that 1,000 extra to be able to get a few things. Because, it would be nice to see free-to-play players be able to, if they did go this route, get the anthill skin and get the ornament. So Etsy, you should be able to.
I think free to play should be able to get the skin and the ornament, or the frame. Okay, I think that would be possible. Now, the question is if that's like the best choice, and obviously every player will have to choose that. Personally, as I've been chatting with some people in chat, I think if I were free to play, I would definitely go for the skin, get the stat improvement from the skin, and having a cool skin. To be honest with you, I think it looks very cool. But I think my second choice would be the exotic shells. Personally, if I were free to play, that's where I would go, because exotic shells are very hard to come by. So that would give you a nice bump on an ant that you want to upgrade, and give you that.
Yeah, because the ornament only does, which for me being a shooter main, it is nice having this buff, but all soldier ants health plus 0.2%. It's nice, but honestly, I gotta agree with you. So, like, exotics, you need so many exotics, like, especially just to get to 7 stars to 8 stars, you need, I think it's 35 exotics.
But it's not just that. It's not just that. Think about like the boost you get overall to your account from exotic shells, because they also have that that tree that you can build up for more stat boosts. So you do need those exotics to put more stars on ants, so that way you can get that level up. So that's part of my reasoning too. It's not just improving one ant or getting an ant to 8 stars. It's also that special ant boost that's given based on getting 12 ants with stars on them and improving them. So it does require a lot of exotics, and it does require time. So, but that is one way to increase general stats on an account. Exactly, Draco. So that tree right there does require more stars on ants, and thus that's why exotics, I feel, are a better way, like even for free to play, to gain improved stats. So
Yeah, and I think a lot of players forget about that because that is a great point. So, like, I completely forgot about that too. That the special ant troop boost really helps you out a lot. Like, if I didn't have 48 stars right now, wow, like I would be very much weaker than I am now. So that's actually a good point.
I do also want to address one other thing. Someone posted something that I wanted to.
Don't worry, guys. So also
Yeah,
has a lot of
sorry.
screenshots.
No, I read something in here, but I guess no. I got the cross with things.
Yeah, but we only have a few minutes left, and we haven't talked about it. But this event is ending, but there's still another one coming out. So we still have not been able to see the collaboration Anthill skin.
Okay, that's actually what that you just reminded me. So someone posted it. No, another ant, right? Or no ant was available yet. So that's if we go by the Godzilla event, because this is the closest thing we've had to that event. During Godzilla, we did not have the insect skin option, so they actually came out with the insect Godzilla. Now now it looks like during collaboration events they're just going to make it like a skin, like they did with Kumoku. But the one thing that also came out during the Godzilla event was Crimson Pearl. Okay, so they introduced a new ant during a collab event, which we don't know yet if that's going to happen here. But if it follows the path of Godzilla, on Tuesday, they're going to have to do some sort of event that will bring the skin, right? The pay skin that will be released as part of the event. So Godzilla, we had the insect, we had the Godzilla skin, and then Crimson Pearl was released at the same time. So could there be a new ant introduced? If it's going to happen during the collab, then it will definitely be on Tuesday's event. If it follows the path of Godzilla, and also what has happened during this event, we had the cave running through the cave to get the insect skin, and then we had the low tide shore event to get the march. So my guess is that it's going to be Ant's Party coming up, which will be the last one that's going to offer the hill skin. And then if they do introduce a new ant during it, it will be, on Tuesday, they'll also have the ant in that pack, which those that are going to beding, so to say, that may wind up being a costly endeavor if you want to grab whatever ant they're going to introduce along with trying to go for the hill skin. But
yeah, because I have 2 points to that. Honestly, in my opinion, the best event to do to end this collab, which personally I love it. I know some people were a little bit iffy about it, but for me personally, I love it. The Ants Party event is perfect because it benefits pay to win for collecting those new items, you know, the collaboration Antil skin that's paid for. And, you know, I'm still hoping to, like Soul, that there's going to be a release for a new specialized ant. But it also lets free to play players collect fragments for special ants too that you can't hatch, like Parada, White Velvet, Brown Rogue, and I feel like I'm missing the fourth one, but you know, that's also in there too. So that would be a great way to be able to end this event. And side note
Oh,
too, yeah, go
we
ahead.
did miss that. Ironic's got a good point. It could also be flying in the wind. It could be that event also.
Mm. Oh, I hope not. That's my least favorite one, in my opinion.
Really, I actually like flying in the wind. I think that it's easier. To be honest with you, Ant's Party is if you do chase after items, that is the worst, so to say, to save because it does require more to get that first item because not only do you have to get the points, but you have to get to a certain level. So
Mhm.
it is not an easier event.
Yeah, definitely not easy. You can get the points first, but you can't get the levels when you get those points, which is a good point. But one thing I just want to add quickly is I kind of hope that they can reintroduce the insect skin and March skin too, because you know people who haven't had the chance to obtain them, like this is a good opportunity to get them again too. So I'm kind of hoping for that because you know seeing Kumiko march across the maps, I kind of really want it now. That's for sure. But who knows? I guess Tuesday we'll be finding out what's going to be happening with the event and which one it will be.
Yeah.
But yep, exactly. But
Oh, I'm sorry. Before we go, I do have to cover one more thing. So in the on the stage topics, someone did post something. I'm not. I'll kind of summarize it a little bit, but basically, they are. Charles posted that he doesn't think it was a good idea to set VJ so you can have 16 hours of non-play and get to play in the middle of the night only for 38 days. We're tired of protection time and don't need it anymore. As we constantly say, anyone that has a topic they'd like us to cover on stage, we will cover those if you post in that. We did touch on it a little bit over here. That again, we wish that they would revamp the protection time on that and set it differently or eliminate it all. But we have been told by the devs because this has been reviewed plenty of times. There's a lot of players that are not liking this. Really, the only solution at this point, because it has been told to us here at Stage Team and to members of the Discord staff, that there are currently no plans to change protection time or the protection feature on any event. So let's just make it very clear. There are enough players that have asked for protection time and that like it, that there are not going to be any changes. Okay. We actually see it morphed into something else on VJ than we do on Barren Land. So there's no plans by the developing team to change protection time at all. So for players that dislike protection time, and I personally have spoken to alliances that don't like protection time, and they are doing what I'm going to recommend to other players is seek out alliances and teams that go to Lost Island because Lost Island does not have protection time, and that is an option for everybody. So just kind of, you'd have to either, if you're in the leadership of your team, decide to go to Lost Island. If not, we're going to have protection time on events going forward, unless they come out with another event that they decide they don't want a protection time on. Protection time's here to stay, unfortunately. So for those that dislike it, so
Yeah, exactly. But who knows? Maybe they may come out with the season, like Otto said, that might be a game changer and have something different. But so far, yeah, it's not going to change, unfortunately. Oh, there's just one more question before we end. I see here by Alcade. Can anyone explain to me why the garrison and invasion reform stopped working in towers?
they've never worked in the towers.
Never.
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 So the garrison and invasion reforms are strictly for hill to hill combat. So if you're invading a hill or protecting your hill, those are the only times those reforms work. And since the game has strayed away from hill to hill combat, those reforms, I personally highly recommend against players investing a lot in those, because to me it's wasted material. I just don't see, the game has strayed from. I mean, I guess if you're in an earlier server, you may want to put a little bit in it because, in early game you do. I'm sorry, if you're in a newer server, you may want to do it because early game is all about invading and defending your own hill. But beyond that, once you get into later game, it's all about fighting for towers on events, and it's all about fighting for buildings on AE with a little bit of hill attacks, but not enough to make putting a lot of material in there. You're much better suited investing the materials that you earn into the normal stats of the class, focusing on the class that's your main.
It's unfortunate.
Mhm.
I'd really like to see them switch that to tower invasion and garrison. I think that would be
Yeah.
super beneficial.
I agree, and I would definitely invest in like materials and something like that. Whereas,
Mhm.
I do invest into the season soldier in attack and defense because it does help you get higher level nodes than you may be able to, especially if you're right on the border stat wise. Until you can get the SXI ants or enough building buffs to really help. So because that's kind of an important factor on events, chasing after getting that initial 40k honor, you want to grab as high a nodes as possible. So I do put some of the material into those, but yeah, on the invasion and the garrison buffs, it's kind of a waste, to be honest with you.
It really is. Yeah. I mean, even if with the newer servers, right? They don't necessarily need to do a whole lot of anthill to anthill fights, except for maybe on like a War of Kings or Warzone Expedition. But even
Mhm.
then, I mean, it's not really worth it to invest into those reforms, especially with how expensive it is to upgrade all the other ones.
Correct. And just so you guys all know, maximum level on those items is level 60. And even when you hit 60 on all three types, it can go beyond that. So it takes a very, very long time to get you to 60 to begin with. Whether you're free to play or a pay to win player, it is still a challenge. But you have to get three initial, the three the attack, defense, and health of the type of ants all up to 60, and then it'll open up like a percentage bonus that's given in that feature, and then that goes up in levels of 5 or whatever. I've only seen a couple players that have reached that point, so you know, it's very hard. And so wasting material on something like the attack and the the invasion attack and defense and health or whatever, things that are really not going to help you at all are not worth it.
Yeah, exactly. But with that, stage has unfortunately come to its end, and I'd like to thank everyone for joining here. Thank you, Soul, Otto, Guppy, and our new trial, Nim. Thank you for joining us today on Father's Day. I hope everyone has a great day today. Enjoy the weather if it's good weather for you. And if you haven't already, I already posted in chat, but go to Live ID, submit your in-game ID, not your Discord ID, please. Not that. Your in-game ID, and the fairy will bring you a little gift. And if there's anything you guys want us to discuss, go to stage topics, put in there, and we can, talk about it during the next stage. So thank you everyone for joining, and have yourself a great day.
Hey, one more thing too.
Mhm.
Just so you guys know, we do have a new channel on the stage portion of official Discord. It is titled Stage Videos. Going forward, all live stages will automatically pop into that channel. So if you've missed the live stage, you can check out the YouTube video of the stage and listen to it at your convenience. Or if you wanted to show that to your Alliance members and other people, friends in the game, if there's something or a topic that they wanted some information on covered, you can just direct them to that. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It'll get us a little bit more viewership, so people can see that on YouTube if they search up ants. So thank you again, everyone, and we look forward to next stage.
Yeah. Take care, everyone. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. You have yourself a wonderful Father's Day for those fathers out there, and for those mothers who are acting like fathers. You have a good day too. So,
Yep.
ciao.
Happy Father's Day, everybody. See you later.